So there's this opening of the seals, judgment in Revelation, and what's the pattern that's going to happen? There's going to be four horsemen that's going to be unleashed. They have their colors. It's white, and then we have red, and then we have black, and then we have the combination of a horse that's called pale horse or chloros, that's green in Greek. Either way, this is the pattern that I'm seeing. 2021, there's something that it's a white horseman, so something to do with the crown that it conquers in the whole world. So this crown is in Greek is toxin, so toxin. So that's something to do with a virus. So this is like the pestilence. By 2022, we had a war in Russia. But did it resolve today, 2024? It did not. In fact, it just mothballs into some bigger war. So this determines that where the trajectory is. It's like the opening of the seals, which in 2023, we have the black horse that is unleashed. So this has connection with economic. So that's when the time when the banking industries were starting to fall, and you can see all the bankruptcies as a result of what happened in 2021, which is the COVID era. And then when the business got closed, so there was like closure. So now we're seeing the effect of in 2023 with bankruptcies. But did these bankruptcies mothball into something like a bigger crisis? Well, surely it did. 2024, we're going to be seeing more of these bankruptcies and perhaps like an economic collapse. This economic collapse could mean more troubles ahead. And it's likely going to be the dollar that's going to die, because we already found out that the BRICS nations have formed. But then this economic collapse of the US, what's going to happen is it's going to trigger more problems with inflation, because this crisis builds up one atop another. It doesn't stop. You got white, you got the red, you got the black. And then finally, the combination of these three is the pale horseman or the green horseman. So you can see that there's combination that's going to cause hunger, death, and then there's destruction. And then this thing will just cause a decimation of a lot of the population. It's like a quarter that's going to be killed. It says here about a fourth part of the earth. Power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with sword, that's war, and with hunger and with death. That's the combination of all these three horsemen. It's going to cost 2 billion. That's the 1/4 of the 8 billion population that we have.
In 2020, scientists set the doomsday clock closer to Armageddon than ever. 100 seconds to midnight.
The power that mankind has generated is completely at variance with the seriousness with which it's understood. How else can we wake up the Democrats, the Republicans, the independents, the millionaires, the billionaires, the media owners, who carry on their life as though they're on the Titanic, about ready to hit an iceberg, and they're not worried?
And a new missile threatens to make up the time. The Tsar Bomba was all threat. It had to be carried by a plane and was too easily shot down. This new tactical nuclear missile is the polar opposite. It's designed less as a deterrent and more to be used. It makes the unthinkable thinkable. A simulation by Princeton University shows how one tactical nuclear missile could lead to Armageddon based on real targets and fatality estimates. During a conventional conflict, Russia launches a nuclear warning shot, and NATO retaliates with a single tactical nuclear airstrike. As the nuclear threshold is crossed, fighting escalates to a tactical nuclear war in Europe. Russia sends 300 warheads via aircraft and missiles to hit NATO bases and troops, and NATO responds with 180 warheads. With Europe destroyed, NATO launches 600 strategic nuclear missiles aimed at Russian nuclear forces. Before losing its weapons, Russia launches missiles from silos, vehicles, and submarines. And to inhibit recovery, both sides target major cities and economic centers. Within a few hours, there are 90 million casualties, and the impact will escalate dramatically. It's this risk of crossing the nuclear threshold that led the US to completely eliminate tactical nuclear missiles from its army and navy and almost all overseas locations.
So it's March of 2024, and there's a crisis that's currently happening right now, especially with the leakage of the tape in Germany, and it suggests that the direct participation of Germany in the bombing of the bridge in Russia, in Crimea. So that's going to create a problem right there. And 2024 just happens to be when there's the full production of the Sarmat type of missile that Russia possesses. This one is like really like the high tech kind of missile with the what you could term as ballistic missiles with the capacity of creating so much damage. And Russia is also at the forefront of having this technology. It's called the hypersonic missile. So they've been at it, developing it, and sharing the information to China and to North Korea. So this one just exacerbates all the problems.
В силу его характеристик никакие даже перспективные системы ПРО ему не помеха.
Russia's longest-range nuclear missile goes into service. The Sarmat ICBM has been approved for combat duty. Putin's big nuclear deterrent for the West amid Ukraine war. Yuri Borisov, the head of Russia's space agency, made the big announcement. The move seems like Russia's deadly deterrent for the West as they plan to send F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine. So let's decode the deadly Sarmat. The weapon is believed to be the longest range and heaviest in Russia's nuclear arsenal. The final test stage for this new generation intercontinental ballistic missile was reported last year. The liquid fuel silo-based delivery vehicle is the intended replacement for the aging nuclear missiles. Its range is established at least 11,000 kilometers, while payload weighs around 10 tons. Sarmat missile systems is capable of carrying more than 10 nuclear warheads.